Um, I thought I heard some music or whatever, but here's the question that I want to ask. I don't want to feel like I'm sounding strange or I'm talking in circles and stuff. I always will have a passion for the truth, and even as I speak right now, I do. And I want to, like I said, I want to take a step, a couple of notches and stuff like that, and shake certain spirits. You know what I'm saying? Keep on shaking spirit. But one thing positive that I will say is that the Most High helped me deal with focusing on, like, when you focus on something that you really, when you focus on something that you really um like, I guess doing or whatever. Like, I like this here. This is first and foremost because I speak about it all the time. Uh, oh, I was wondering what the hell that was. I thought something was crawling on the inside. I mean, something, bugs and things. So, but anyway, man, I feel like I'm off track. Um, we know that Esau is the enemy, right? And when you don't really know who you are, I mean, you hope that you are, you hope that you don't, you know what I mean, come from the other nation of people. But at the same time, uh, what was that? It seemed like I was thinking of everything that I was gonna say, but as soon as I got on my camera, just everything like it just looked like it went dark. But I do everything in my power and keep the Sabbath. I overcame some stuff. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? When he help you dealing with lust, pride, greed, and all that type of stuff, God has really kept me in that sense. And you know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is I'm praying for boldness. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's what I'm praying for. You know what I mean? Uh, and then I always said that I wanted to, like, make a difference in my African American, so-called, I say African American just for the sake of context. I'm not using it because I'm already woke to that. You see what I'm saying? But I want to make a difference. I really do, in my community, doing something like, what can I do more, stuff like that. But I realize I'm starting at the bottom. And I guess it takes time, but for everything, just like it took time for me, is to realization, you know what I'm saying, strengthen my faith and everything, you know, just like I learned how to read, and I learned it's pretty much better. I'm just working on my spelling now, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get better at my spelling time and doing everything I can is to keep the most high, basically the moral of me, what you hearing me saying of this whole thing is that I'm doing everything I can to keep, is to make sure that I know who I am according to my nationality, and go out and teach people who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because, like they say, you can't teach nobody else if you lost. You see what I'm saying? So I'm asking him is to build me up, and basically, he's doing that. You know what I mean? He's doing that, and what else? I just want to make sure I get it all. I don't want to say nothing weird, stuff like that, because I think, you know what, y'all, and I believe y'all can sense that when people watch my videos, is that I, in the past, even if you listen to me, even as I talk now, I feel like I struggle with speech vocabularies and trying to, like, relate the words and articulate. But I believe I'm doing very good now. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you go and you watch a lot of videos that I made, stuff like that. So that's why I believe when I first heard this truth, and when I think about the Israelites when they was in slavery in Egypt, they took away the books from them. They didn't want them just to know that. And so I believe that might be one of the reasons why, if somebody help me in the comment section, when I think about, now, I'm not going to say it happened directly, but I would say it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, when you think of your brother, your sister that can't read or write, you're thinking of something that's not nothing. When you think of that, it's nothing good about not knowing how to read or write. You see what I'm saying? Um, I struggle in that area. Now you hear me. I guess if you hear me reading something now, and I'm trying to relate this to Deuteronomy chapter 28, because in Deuteronomy 28 and 6, I think it's 16, he said all these curses. No, I think before you get to 16, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to do that which is right in his eyes this day, he said, all these curses shall come upon this 28 and verse 15. So when I think about those things, and when I first heard this message, God's chosen people went through curses because they didn't keep the commandments in the Bible. Because when they would say, remember the story of Moses and the children of Israel, and when he was a man that was leading the Israel, that had um, he was leading the children of Israel, God's chosen people out of Egypt. He was a leader. He was a spokesman, spokesperson. He was advocating for God. You know what I'm saying? He was advocating for God for the lost Israel, because Israel rebelled against God's commandments, and they was going off and they was not keeping his commandments and stuff of that nature. So when I look at how, like, when you think of rebellion and stuff like that, I have been in situations to where, in somewhat what I say, like people say you don't like listening and stuff like that. Even though I'll acknowledge that like the mistake or whatever, sometimes you don't want to negotiate in some things, and I had a problem negotiating when I probably would get mad at that moment, or in that moment I probably would get mad or something like that, because things didn't, well, if it was over a disagreement or whatever. And I'm thinking about the still all these curses will come up on it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, okay, reading, writing, that's part of it, because when they was in Egypt, the children of Israel was in Egypt, they didn't even have uh, they couldn't, they didn't have time to read or do nothing. All they had time to do is like work in the field. And I think I did a video. No, I did a video similar to what I'm saying now, like it. And that's probably why you see a lot of our older people in their 70s, 80s, most of them, you know what I mean, in their 60s and 70s. A lot of those people probably came up when they in their 60s or whatever, and they probably didn't have time to do nothing but work, 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 or they just didn't have time for nothing. And so I'm thinking, like, if me coming and walking up to somebody and saying, "Hey, this your nationality," and all the da da da, this and that and the third, then they come at you sideways, or just not be interested in it. They just won't be willing to accept your line of thinking. Uh, so yeah, man, it it's crazy out here. So that those things that was on my mind. You see what I'm saying? And I was just thinking about that. I said, that is really, it got dark out here, man, already. It looked like it want to rain. So what I'm gonna have to do is get up from out here, and I'm just gonna head back to the house that way, if the person. But if you're around, I went over to the old and got the bowl brush. Yeah, they know who I'm talking to. I went and got the old bowl brush. Yeah. So when you I'm gonna talk about it more when I get home. I'm gonna see y'all later. We'll talk.